So we're gonna work with a fictional company called TaskFlow. You can think of it as a to-do app, kind of like Todoist. And we're gonna work through a feature for a calendar integration. So you can imagine that we know that people want this. There's been like some customer support tickets. The CEO thinks it would be a cool feature, but we don't have any user research. So we're gonna start there. We're gonna draft a user research survey. We're gonna get some mock data. We're gonna have Claude analyze it. We're gonna create the PRD. We're gonna create a deck. We'll create some images for that deck. We will write tickets that go straight into Linear. We'll be able to create the PRD in a way that it pulls those tickets directly from Linear through Claude Code. And then it will automatically update that PRD as engineers start that work. So we'll do an end-to-end flow, just start at the very beginning, and we'll show how from Claude Code you can do all of it in here and just keep the work in here, push it out, and then when you have stuff to pull back in, pull it in as well.
Epic.
So to start, we're just gonna go ahead and we'll just start at the very beginning. We'll create a user research survey for a calendar integration based on, basically we'll give it information around the feature in our feature context document, and then we'll say that we already have a template. So this is some stuff that we basically covered in the first video. Okay, so what it's doing is it's reading through those two, and now it's gonna go ahead and it'll create that document, and then it'll save it to Google Docs. One thing I know I'm gonna have to do is I'll tell it to use my email. Sometimes when it uses this MCP, it like forgets who it's for. Once I tell it for the first time, it won't have that problem again. So MCP, and please also put the markdown file in here. Okay, so what it's gonna do is it's gonna read those two files. It will create a markdown file in here that has the survey, but then it will use the Google Docs MCP to actually push that into Google Drive. So it'll be pretty sweet by the end here because it'll actually have it in Google Docs. And then from there, you can imagine, like you'd probably want to share that with your user research team or someone before you actually created the, like sort of sent it out. So this is step one. We're just gonna start with some user research based on some documents that we have in here.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so we kind of see it running the tool here. And now it's also saving it in here so we can see this survey in here. And then one way you can always nicely view these, you right click and do preview.
Yes, showed this to another podcast guest who loved it.
Yeah, I saw that actually. There's also a shortcut if you do Command-Shift-V, and then I'll open it as well. Okay, great. So it's basically, this looks pretty good. It followed our own template here. And then, so this is here, but now let's see the cool thing. Let's see this in Google Drive. So it gave us the link here. And then one thing, whenever it pushes to Google Drive, it pushes the straight markdown. So kind of a pro move here is you can like cut it and then paste from markdown and it will be nice.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Another saver.
I'll do that again just to like show it. So we had a markdown file, or everything's in markdown here, but I think Google Docs knows that many more people are working in markdown files than ever before. So they've added a feature where you can paste from markdown. There's no hotkey for it, but you just right click and then do paste from markdown, and it will take that and it will make it really nice. So boom, now we have our user research survey. So the first time we've kind of seen it, we've actually pushed something out into Google Docs.
Nice.
Okay, so now let's say we send this out and we get responses from it. I have already created a sort of like a response, like we got some survey responses from this. And then the next step is we're going to have Claude help us analyze that research. So first, I'm just gonna go ahead and ask it to pull in the responses from this survey. Okay, this is gonna use that same NPC again, and I'm asking it not to do any analysis. We just wanna pull the information in. One thing worth calling out, so there's sort of a step in between here where you'd actually want to, draft that survey in a way that users could respond to it. So depending on the thing that your company was using, Qualtrics is like a very common user research platform. So then as a PM who's trying to be an AI native PM, what you should think of is, oh, I wonder if Qualtrics has an NPC server. So let's go ahead and search.
And they must, right? So then you could basically automatically create the survey in MCP once you've gotten the feedback from your UXR team.
Yep, exactly. So there is in fact a Qualtrics NPC server. So in this demo, I don't have Qualtrics, but that is kind of the mindset. It's like, okay, here's the next step. Could I have Claude Code do it? And it turns out for many, many, many things, the answer is almost always yes, which is so awesome. Okay, so it's pulling that in.
And if you are a SaaS tool that hasn't developed an MCP server yet, you might want to ask yourself, why not?
Yeah, it's true. Okay, great. So it pulled that information in, and then it's kind of just showing it here. One thing that if you ever have like these kind of ugly tables, it's usually just because you need to give it enough room.
Yeah, I face this a lot. They
Yeah.
end up using a lot of command minus, right, to go small.
Yeah. So there it is. Obviously, I'll zoom back in, but that's like, this is like a very long table. Okay, great. So now what we're gonna do, and this won't seem that amazing at first, but something cool is gonna happen here. So I'm gonna say, synthesize the user research survey responses and put it into new.md. So notice that I'm not giving it any other instructions. This is kind of vague.
Is it going to put it in Google Docs too?
Even something even kind of cooler is going to happen. Okay, so we're waiting. It says it's accomplishing. It's thinking really hard.
And if you guys are wondering why his Claude Code is so much faster than yours, he had that bypass permissions, which one of you guys probably don't have on.
It's not. Oh, here we go. Okay, really thinking hard on this request.
Yeah. 35 seconds for 300 tokens.
It's kind of a funny element of working with LLM sometimes is like there's a lot of just like really short amount of downtime. Okay, it didn't do what I was hoping it would do. We'll start this again. I think it might be because we already had the chat going.
And why does yours fill for Claude dangerously skip permissions so fast?
Oh yeah, good question. I just have it like basically anytime you just click up, it will use whatever you've used last time. And it will just cycle through all the commands. So I have.
And that actually works not even in Cursor. That just works in any terminal.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Well, let's give it one more try because it would be cool if it gets it correct. Okay, so from the original one, and sometimes if you're working in like multiple Claude sessions, you do just have to jump around a little bit to figure out where the things you want are. Okay, so I think let's try this one more time. What we're gonna do is, so before we had asked it to pull in that information, what we'll do is we will ask it to just put it into a file for us. This will also make it look nicer when we pull it in. Okay, so I'll kind of spoil the lead here. So what I'm hoping happens is Claude has this very cool new feature called skills. And the way that skills work is I have a skill that is already uploaded into this project that is a research synthesizer skill. And the way that this is supposed to work is you have a name for it and then you have a description of that skill. And so what this does is that as soon as it uses this skill, then it has like a pre-built sort of template for how it is supposed to analyze that information.
Yeah.
That alone is something that we've kind of seen before. You could say, hey, Claude, analyze this information and use this file that has a template. The cool thing about skills, and what I'm hoping that we see next.
Today's episode is brought to you by Amplitude. Replays of mobile user engagement are critical to building better products and experiences. But many session replay tools don't capture the full picture. Some tools take screenshots every second, leading to choppy replays and high storage costs from enormous capture sizes. Others use wireframes, but key moments go missing, creating gaps in your understanding. Neither approach gives you a truly mobile experience. Amplitude does things differently. Their mobile replays capture the full experience. Every tap, every scroll, and every gesture, with no lag and no performance hit. It's the most accurate way to understand mobile behavior. See the full story with Amplitude.
I hope you enjoyed that short clip. You can check out the full episode here.